I have a very hard time with imprisoning people for non-violent crimes. If there was no victim, if it's money, make them work the money off. All right, fine. Restitution, fine. 8 years of your life and nobody was injured. That's a very difficult thing for me to reconcile. You've reformed yourself. You've been out for how long now?
I came home in 2002.
2002. I mean, you've been out. You're a completely different man now than you were.
1,000%.
What would you like to see done about the criminal justice system in America? Like, what are some solutions to make this a better place?
Well, they've already done it because there were so many petitions and people trying to change law, but the crack law needs to be changed because it's 100-to-1 ratio, which means if I have 1 gram of crack, what is crack? Crack is cocaine that's been cooked with ammonia and other ingredients. So it's basically base. So if you have crack or base rock and you have 1 gram of that, basically they could say you have 100 grams of cocaine. So that 100-to-1 ratio only affects, in essence, poor black young kids, because white young kids or Mexicans are not out selling crack. It was primarily at the time young black African American males. So now you're getting kids that are 16, 17 getting caught with 2 grams of crack being charged with 200 grams of cocaine or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
That law needs to be changed.
Yeah. I think in some places it did change because there were white women that were going around selling edibles with like weed, but weed edibles, and they were getting charged by the weight of the brownie, and then that's when the lawmakers were like, all right, maybe this is a little unfair.
But I know a lot of people that were sentenced to life in jail.
Yeah.
For having 10 grams of crack.
Dude, I'm a libertarian. I don't think any drug should be illegal. I don't, so.
It's hard for me to look at people that murder people and get 5 or 6 years and knowing that I got sentenced to 120 months and I did 85% of that in jail and they're going to do 5 years and I didn't kill anyone.
Dude.
Nor did I hurt anyone. Like, I may have hurt them mentally, which could be worse, but I never physically harmed anyone.
Yeah. And our politicians rob a lot more than $100,000 every day.
Yeah, so.
I mean, Sam Bankman-Fried stole $44 billion. He made it disappear.
No problem.
And he's on bail.
No problem.
In South America right now.
No problem. We'll let you out. There's also restitution that they call restitution in federal prison and in jails, where restitution means you have to pay back everything that you reportedly stole.
So wait, so they make you do the time and pay the money back? I feel like it should be one or the other. I feel like if I give you the money back,
Why
you
you
have
talk to Michael
do the time.
Francis, you know that.
Let me tell you something about, I can go on and have like multiple podcasts about the federal BOP, Bureau of Prisons. It's a slave trade.
Yeah.
It's a revolving door and it's a slave trade.
No doubt. Especially the for-profit.
It's
disgusting.
The way they profit from it, there's a thing called Unicor in all federal prisons. It's called Unicor. If you owe restitution, they put you in this factory where you work. You get up at 8 in the morning and you have a job. Everybody in federal prison has a job, whether it's sweeping the floors, whether it's doing lawns. From 8 in the morning till recall, which is like 3:15, there's a bell that goes off. Recall. All inmates report back to their cell blocks. Recall. They go back. Everyone on every prison works. There's not one person that, like, people think everyone's just chilling, watching TV, and no, they're making big money. So if you owe restitution, you work in Unicor. You know how much you get paid?
So it's like $1 an hour or something, isn't it?
Literally like cents.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you get that at the end of the month, and you could spend that at commissary, which is owned by presidents and like George Bush.
Well, it's disgusting. I mean, if we really want to get deep into it,
it's super disgusting.
So taxpayer dollars go to build these prisons, which are then run for profit, and then they get these massive. They use tax dollars to get these massive, huge contracts. So like Sodexo and these huge companies get this contract to feed the prisoners and clothe the prisoners, and that's tax dollars. It's a giant slush fund, and it's a disgusting thing. And if you think about, let's say you stole 100,000. Let's say it was 100,000, and you spent 8.5 years of your life.
Wasn't worth it.
They're paying you less than $10,000 a year if that's restitution.
Yeah,
You're
but
getting less than 10 grand a year
I could have worked at McDonald's and made.
over that same 8.5 year period.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you would have made 5 times, 6 times the amount